today's battle is a little different for our animal battles. Okay, today's battle is between an imposter and Zuko. So let's get this fight started. So Zuko is from the Fire Nation, and he's 5'3", weighs 140 pounds, and his age is he's 16, I think. Yeah, he's 16. Now let's start with the his weapons and abilities are his firebending and his dual swords. So the imposter, there's no really known height for the imposter, so let's just say he's just 4 feet tall. So the imposter, his weapons are a knife, and his abilities are that he can open his mouth to swallow his opponents, or he has this long, sharp protrusion that he can open his mouth, and then a sharp protrusion shoots out his mouth and spears his opponent's face. Oh yeah, Zuko also knows lightning redirection, so yeah, there's that as well. Oh yeah, and the imposter can also snap people's necks. If you didn't know that. Yeah, but anyway, let's get on to their speed and stats. Speed goes to Zuko. He's a lot more agile and faster than the imposter. Strength is pretty much tied here because the imposter is pretty strong. Brains, they're tied actually. Attack goes to the imposter, and defense goes to Zuko. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so Zuko is just walking around and he's wondering how the hell did he stumble across this arena. And then he sees an imposter, and he's like, "Hello, Zuko here." The imposter says nothing, and then a little text appears off of him. He says, "Time to die, Zuko." Zuko gets his fire ready, and he's about to fucking firebend. Then he pulls out a freaking knife. Zuko shoots a burst of fire at him as a warning to back the hell off. But the imposter jumps out of the way. Zuko is surprised at how agile he is, despite his stubby little legs. Zuko keeps shooting his burst of fire at him, but the imposter keeps dodging it. The imposter throws his knife and it hits Zuko's arm. Zuko yells in pain and he starts cussing. Yeah, this is a different Zuko. This isn't child-friendly Zuko. So he pulls the knife out of his arm and throws it down to the ground. Zuko says, if you want to fight like that, then fine. He pulls out his dual swords and starts freaking slicing and dicing. But the imposter jumps out of the way, slides under Zuko's feet, and grabs his knife. Now Zuko, he's an expert firebender, but he's also pretty good at hand-to-hand combat too. So he swings his dual swords around while the imposter tries to stab him with the freaking knife. And there's a lot of ting, 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 ting. Yeah, all of that. Zuko then does a freaking his breakdance move where he just breakdances and fire flies everywhere. So he does that, and the imposter actually gets hit, but he's not down for the count yet. Yeah, while he was doing his breakdance kick, he had his he put away his dual swords. So that's when the imposter throws his knife once he's done doing his breakdance thing. Zuko sees the blade coming, so he freaking Mission Impossible his ass, and then freaking dodges the knife. The imposter then runs, opens his mouth, and tries to bite Zuko. Zuko jumps out of the way and tries to blast him, but the imposter starts dodging and dodging. Eventually, he bites Zuko's leg. Zuko yells and punches him with fire fists. Okay, so, yeah. So the imposter, he opens his mouth and the sharp projectile shoots out. Zuko dodges it multiple times, but then gets hit in the arm. The same place exactly. Zuko yells. Zuko yells in pain. And the people are in awe that he's freaking firebending. Firebending! You know? So he does some basic firebending moves like kick, punch, yeah. You know that. But the imposter just keeps dodging and dodging. And Zuko has the bright idea of shooting fire at the sharp projectile. So once the imposter does that, Zuko fires a fire burst. The fire goes through the sharp projectile and burns the imposter. The imposter yells in pain. And he's like, "Ow, what the hell, dude?" And he eventually, he doesn't burn from the inside, but like he's severely damaged. And that's when Zuko gets his twins to dual swords and stabs and breaks the hole into the imposter's helmet. He sees what he truly is, and he's like, "What the hell are you?" And Zuko says, "What the hell are you?" So the imposter gets pissed, and grabs his knife and stabs Zuko's knee and shakes it around. Zuko yells in pain, and Zuko yells in pain and punches the imposter with a fire fist. He removes the knife and he removes and drops the knife and burns it, smoldering it, and it's all dissolved and melted now. The imposter gets pissed, so he opens his mouth to bite Zuko again. Zuko received a lot of bloody injuries, so he's onto the tactic of evasion. Zuko keeps dodging and dodging the imposter's attacks. So the imposter jumps but misses. But that's when the sky starts getting darker and darker. They both look up and see. Oh, and Zuko, he forgot about this, and then he remembers the very thing that was gonna happen today. And Zuko says to himself, "Ah, shit. Day of Black Sun. Oh my god, right now?" Yeah, this is a Zuko that swears. He's not an avatar anymore. It's a Zuko that has to deal with his dual swords. The imposter tries to. So Zuko pulls out his dual swords and starts slicing and dicing, but the imposter just keeps moving and moving. And apparently this imposter has an extra knife with him in his freaking pack, like right here. And starts stabbing. And starts sword fighting with Zuko. And apparently he has infinite knives. He has pulled another one out and they both start dueling. Ting, 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 ting. It just goes on for like 10 minutes before Day of Black Sun ends. Surprisingly, the imposter has lasted this long. And Zuko is like, "Oh, firebending is back." He then shoots an accurate direct hit through the broken glass hole of the imposter's helmet, sending a direct wave of fire from his fingertips into that little hole. burning the imposter. The imposter roars. No, roars in pain. He's like struggling to breathe. It's like what the hell? It hurts. Zuko keeps shooting flame after flame after flame after flame, and after 3 minutes, the imposter is finally dead and burned to a crisp from the inside. Zuko covers his nose, and he says, "That's rough, buddy." Jesus Christ, you stink! Oh God, I'm just gonna run. Oh God. Zuko walks out of the arena, and the people are just dumbfounded by this long battle. But anyway, yeah, the winner is Fire Lord Zuko. So who would win if an imposter met Zuko? Like this type of imposter that we just used? I say Zuko wins around 91% of the time. His firebending skills are great, but let's just say if it was from Azula against freaking the imposter would lose directly. So Zuko, he just dominates this fight. But there's some occasions where Zuko will, if the imposter throws a knife at the exact moment and hits Zuko in the heart or the head, it will kill Zuko. But who do you think would have won a fight between an imposter from Among Us and Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Leave it in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Make sure to subscribe and like.